Hey everybody, welcome to JV Board Games. I'm Jesse. Today I'm doing my top 10 deck building games. These are games where everybody gets like a standard set of cards. Well, not standard set of cards, but gets a set of cards in the deck, starting deck, and just builds their deck by buying cards, using resources to get more cards and build this engine. Okay, it was a very cool concept. Back in the day when the first game that kickstarted that whole genre of games, and that was Dominion. Today I'm not a big fan of Dominion. Today a lot of the deck building games are very samey, so I'm very picky about it. I've kind of gone away from deck building games. However, there are 10 games that I really like, and these all had some uniqueness to it. And so let's begin, starting with number 10. Number 10, gotta put that on the list. It started the whole genre. Didn't like it that much, and that's Dominion. Dominion is like this Renaissance style theme to it. Okay, but it's just a standard generic deck builder, and I don't like it nearly as much as the other games because a lot of deck builders coming out are very similar to Dominion these days. So that is my number 10, Dominion. My number 9 comes in a very small box. It's a very interesting game, and it's unique in the sense that I liked it because it's these double-sided cards, and that's Flip City. Flip City, every card is double-sided, so you can see each side and your opponent can see each side, and certain effects will flip the card and upgrade them. There is push your luck into it, so you cannot see the rest of your deck. You can only see the top card, and you keep drawing cards, okay, until you hit a certain limit. And when you hit that certain limit, you bust, and you don't get any resources. The goal of the game is to get 18. There's 2 ways to win. You get 18 different cards, or I believe you score points. Okay, it was very unique. It is a small game. It's very quick. It's mostly a 2-player game, but I really liked it because of the double-sided cards. Okay, so that is number 9, Flip City. Number 8 was unique because of I'm not a huge fan of the theme. It's based on a video game, and that is the Resident Evil deck building game. But I really liked it. I just enjoyed it. Everybody gets characters, and everybody has special abilities. Okay, and you go through this mansion fighting off monsters, and then eventually you fight a big bad boss. Once that is, the game ends, and then you score your points. Now, my friends, they created a different system of the game that I really liked, and that was they built 4 floors of the mansion, and each floor had a boss to fight. And we get up to the final. After you beat that boss, then you move on to the next level, and then you score your points at the end. I really liked it that way. It felt more thematic as far as Resident Evil goes, so I really enjoyed that one. So that was my number 8 Resident Evil deck building game. Number 7 was unique in the sense that it was the least amount of points gives you the victory, and that is Nightfall. So Nightfall is this thematic of creatures of the night. There's werewolves, zombies, vampires, vampire hunters. Okay, and the very first thing you do in the game is you attack someone. Alright, you deal damage to them. If any damage gets through, they take wound. Okay, and the wounds just take up your deck. They just clear out the deck, and you're supposed to have the least amount of wounds to win. Alright, and I really like that. The other interesting thing is you play these cards, and then one action you play, the next action someone plays and chains off yours. So there's this chain reaction of cards, okay, that goes off, and the effects can affect other things that happen throughout the game. For example, one card will affect yours, because that card went off first. So I liked it. I don't have my copy anymore, but it was a very unique game, and it's out of print now. But that is my number 7, Nightfall. My number 6 was my favorite deck builder, and that was Ascension. Ascension, there's not much to say about it. It's very simple. That was the uniqueness about it. You get 5 cards in a row. You got a couple other things you can buy that are universal, and you just buy either a card to add to your deck, or you kill a monster to score points. And there's a certain limit of points. When that certain limit happens, game ends, and then you score all your points from your cards and what you have, and whoever has the most points is the winner. It was just simple in the sense, and the co-creator of that game will be coming up, made another game that will be coming up on my list in a little bit. Okay, and so that is my number 6, Ascension. My number 5 was unique in the sense of you're basically what you are is you're these collectible card gamers, and you're playing in a tournament. And so I'm talking about Millennium Blades. That is my number 5. And what you do in this game is on the back of these cards are like booster packs. They're really cool. You get a booster pack, you pull a rare card, you get any card, okay, and you're building a deck. Okay, you're building a deck to play in this tournament. There is a real-time aspect of the game, so at certain points of the game there will be a real time. It takes 7 minutes. You build a deck, okay, and then you use that deck to go and fight other people in a tournament. It was really unique. You really should check it out and really should see the game. The only thing I really didn't like about the game was the money system in it. It comes with paper money, which I really can't stand. However, the paper money's wrapped up and it represents 1 unit of something, so there's like 10 bills in there, but if they're 10 ones, it represents $1. So I didn't care for that system that much, but that's what you use to buy your cards. So anyways, that is my number 5, Millennium Blades. My number 4 was unique in the sense that no other game has been done like this so far. Came out with AEG, and they produced a card crafting system. It's a deck builder, but instead of building the actual deck, you're building the cards, meaning these are transparent cards. So I'm talking about Mystic Vale. Mystic Vale, there's these transparent cards. Every card has a certain effect on them or a certain symbol on their resources. Okay, and you put them in a sleeve, okay, with another card, and it becomes a completely different card. It's in my list because it works like a deck builder, except you're doing it with building the cards instead of the deck. Okay, everybody starts with the same number of cards, which is 20, and then you just build the cards from that. There is push your luck, so you are pushing your luck to try to get certain resources. Okay, and there's these cursed lands, and when these cursed lands hit a certain limit, you bust and don't score anything. Just very similar to Flip City. And you're just trying to score the most points by using these cards and creating a unique combination of these brand new cards. No other game's been done so far as this category goes. AEG is always comes up with unique ways and unique games to produce. AEG is also known for their card games. Okay, and yeah, it was a really good game. I really enjoyed it, and that's Mystic Vale. Number three, I just liked the theme, and that is Tonto Pra. Tonto Pra is your chambering maids. It's like an anime style game. It's the artwork's in that style, but you're chambering these maids, and you're just trying to score the points. It's a very simple game. Each game's different because you don't play with all the cards. It's still ongoing because they're still creating expansions. I think they're on their 4th expansion now for the game, and like I said, you're just trying to get most points, and I really like the theme, and that is Tonto Pra. Number two, I believe this is the first game to ever do this, and that's bring a board into the game. I'm not talking about a board where you just lay out the cards, okay, and this is the setup, but in a board of you actually have a board game with a deck builder. So my number 2 is trains. Trains, on the board you have to create these train stations. Okay, there are some restrictions on how you place the train stations, and you're just trying to score the most points. The board gives you some points. The board is there. It's still part of the game. Mostly is the deck. You're still building the deck. Okay, and then there's the trash mechanic where you have to get rid of your trash. Trash don't do anything for you, but you gotta spend a whole turn doing it. So, but the board was the unique part of it. Another game that started doing that was Clank. I have not played Clank yet, so that's why it's not on my list. But Clank is one of those games that would probably make my list because it's unique in that sense, and it's a dungeon crawler, which I like. So, but yeah, Trains was a good game, and with that board concept, okay, where you actually play the game on the board as well, building a deck, I really liked it. So that's my number 2, Trains. And my number 1 game, as I mentioned, the co-creator of Ascension went on to make this game, and that is Star Realms. I really like Star Realms. It is really good with 2 players. It's meant really for 2 players. Okay, you get a deck, your box comes that's, like a box like that, and it's meant for 2 players. But I really liked it because I really liked the theme, because I really like space-themed games. And he went on to make a fantasy theme, Hero Realms, but I haven't played Hero Realms, but they're the exact same game, Star Realms and Hero Realms. But I really like Star Realms. Star Realms, you're just trying to eliminate your opponent by attacking them and doing damage. That is it. It comes with 4 factions. It's very similar to Ascension. You got 5 cards in a row, buy cards, and then you're supposed to attack your opponent and eliminate them from the game. Each faction does something different, like Ascension. But that is my number 1. I like Star Realms better than I like Ascension. So that is my number 1, Star Realms. So what are your top 10 deck building games? Those are my top 10 deck building games. What did I miss? Please leave a comment below, hit the like button, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on JB Board Games, signing off.